Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Manifest Monday coming to you from on a Tuesday. To the episode, we're gonna be doing first quarter check-in, and we are at the Spot Network, and I'm Diamond. We got my brother Zenas over there, looking fresh with a white polo shirt on,
See him.
Shit.
and we got my and we got my brother Ramond
Yes,
over
sir.
there. And today we're just gonna talk about just first quarter check-in. Most of the time when we have goals and things we worked on and planned. However, sometimes we're not keeping track of those goals. We're not going back to revisit them and remind ourselves exactly what we need to accomplish. So this check-in right here is to just go over those things that we want to accomplish this year and make sure those things are we are aware of them and work towards accomplishing them this year.
Yep.
Let's get started, man. So overall, like how you guys felt like y'all did so far in the first 3 months?
But before we hop into it, if anybody's on here, I want y'all to drop like a goal that y'all had for this year, and then just kind of check in with us, man. Let us know if y'all started on it, y'all been working on it or not. You know what I mean? What's one goal that y'all been having for this? That I know everybody had that New Year's resolutions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? What's one of those ones that what I mean that you have or haven't been working on? So I just wanted to start by that. Start with
Right,
that.
for sure.
Um, what was you saying? What was you saying, Diamond?
No, so what are some things you got like accomplished within the past 3 months so far this year? Some things that you worked on, been working on.
What can I kick this one off, Z? We probably both got with this one
I
together,
already
but
know. I
boy,
already
we
know. I
boy
already know
we
what you're
boy
talking about.
boy we knocked that remote escapes trip out the park, boy.
Why?
Let's
Boy,
go.
we knocked that trip out the park, man. That was man, it was so dope to it was almost like a year from inception where we had the idea to kind of create it and create an experience where people could come back to Africa with us, man, and just to creating the business and just figuring out what it would take logistic wise to do a group trip in another country. That's not a really easy thing. You know what I mean? So I would say first off, that was one of the biggest things that we had. That probably was my biggest goal for quarter one, to be honest.
Sure.
Yep.
And I feel like boy, we sent that to the boy, we sent that to the back, man. Home run, man. So,
For sure.
yeah, I'll kick it off with that. That's one of the things I'm most proud of this first quarter, man. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Echoing that, that was the huge accomplishment of this quarter. Honestly, of this year, but specifically of this quarter, Q1, Rwanda, remote escapes inaugural trip, sensational. Sensational, man. That's all I got to say about it. There's a lot more to come. I can't wait for y'all to see just more behind the scenes of the entire process. And it's amazing to have seen all that hard work and planning and all the things that people didn't see behind the scenes come to life, and to share that experience with other people who genuinely believed in us and rocked with us and traveled thousands of miles away from their comfort zones and paid money out of their pockets to, tap in with us. And honestly, just learn learn about the world, learn about different culture, learn about the motherland, man. I think that's more than anything, man. The motherland is so, yeah. I honestly just can't speak to it enough, man. I'm so proud of us, man. I know can't nobody in life take away from what we did and
For
what we're
sure.
going to what we're going to continue to do moving forward with the Remote Escapes team. And yeah, man, I think that's just I can't say anymore, man. It's just it's lit, man. It's sensational.
That's dope, bro. So I just want to go back to the comment what Kel said. So I wanted to finish the youth wrestling season ended 3 weeks ago, and also wanted to get to sub 12% body fat by the end of the year. Q1 been striking and along strong. That's good, bro. Proud of
Yeah.
you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing the work every day, man. We be in the group chat every morning. So shout out to you, bro. So yeah, man. So I'll go, man. I'll say so far Q1 been great so far. There are a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish and I did, and also there's some things that I can actually improve on. So I just want to start on just talking about some of the things that I accomplished. So I was able to set up my business investment account because I told you guys before one of my long term goal is to create a hedge fund so to actually be able to like create an LLC for the business and start investing on that, and I'm really proud to just start that. And also, just one of my personal goals too. One of my goals is to be able to like invest thousand. I got my board right here. I put it up. So
Yeah,
one of my
yeah.
goals was to invest $1,500 a month. So I was able to do that monthly for the past 3 months.
Fire.
So yeah, man,
Fire.
and so I would say I did pretty good. And my fitness goals to gain 6 pounds, right? So within the past 3 months, I was actually able to gain 6 pounds, which I believe is lean muscle.
For sure. That's two
you
pounds,
know,
2 pounds a
right,
month, boy.
right. Because that
Yes,
was
Yeah.
like my
sir.
lowest, bro, in New Year. Because my surgery, getting back into like my overall routine. So within the past 3 months, bro, I was able to like gain 6 pounds of lean muscle. And one thing I didn't accomplish was one of my goals was to travel to Cancun by the end of March. But I had to like pivot, because of like other financial reason obligations that I'm trying to like
Hmm.
pursue little down the road. So I had to switch up. And also, man, my Spanish, I slacked on my Spanish a little bit. So that's something that I'm gonna pick up second quarter. And
Yeah.
what else? Yeah, I'll say those are the two things that I feel like I can improve on going to the second quarter for sure.
Hmm.
Real,
Yeah.
real quick, DG, man. Let's drop a real gem on them because you did it. I want to start talking about like I seen somebody talk about a lot of people talk about what they do, and then but it's sometimes it's fluff if we don't give them the
Right.
back, like the actual what it takes, man. So how would you open an investment account for your business? Like I
How
kind of
would
want
you
to know for myself, but just
right.
give somebody like the kind of the breakdown of what you actually did to do it.
Right. So actually, to do a brokerage account is a little bit complex, right? Because you can just do it on the app for the LLC. So you actually
Hmm.
have to download a form online, especially on Fidelity, right? You have to download a business investment form. And
Hmm.
once you do that, submit that form and then submit that form to Fidelity. And then after that, they're going to get back to you to verify all the information, which you're going to provide information from the business, overall revenue, all those things, tax structure, and based on all that, everything is set up, bro, and then they're gonna get that started. So
Right.
it's not too difficult, right? So the only thing is like most of the time we're so used to just like doing things online. However, you can do it online. You actually have to
Mm-hmm.
like download the form, fill it out like the old school way, and mail it out to them. And then they're gonna ask for
And
all
they
those
do.
information like social, all those things that to verify the LLC EIN, everything in regards to your business, and then exactly what you're trying to do it for, right? Are you going to be a professional trader? Like all those things, they're going to ask those questions. And
Right.
when all the information are verified, and then yeah, they're going to set that up for you. So it's not like a complex process.
What what's some of the benefits of like opening up a brokerage account for your business as opposed to like just a personal one?
Because I mean, it's good. Like let's say from a investment standpoint, right? Because a personal one is just like personal, right?
Hmm.
However, for the business, it's like so whatever profit the business make, you can invest a certain portion of that. So just being able to like overall grow the business asset.
Ah,
Right. So instead
okay.
of just having like money, because the other company does that. Every company does that, right? You have like a company, the 401k, they are investing in other companies too.
Right,
So why
right,
not as
right.
an entrepreneur? Why not do that for your business? Why just if you have like 200k in the bank account, like why just keep that in the
Yeah.
savings account that's not
Yeah,
uh, accumulating anything when you can put some into a business account, investment account, and also you get
that's
like
fire.
tax benefits and all that stuff too by having that as well.
That's fire.
That's fire.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
fire.
man, that's something that I'm working on too, just going forward. So yeah,
Hmm.
That's fire. Shout out to you, DG, man, for putting,
Yeah.
blessing us some game. And I want to start doing that more. Is like I see so many people talk about what they did, but with no backstory of how they did it. You
right,
know what I mean? And I think like little stuff like that, you did it, and it's easy that you did it. But if somebody doesn't know how to do it,
right,
it's not easy because they don't.
right,
You know what I mean? So
right, right,
shout out to you for breaking that down, brother.
for sure, man. So yeah, so just wanted to go back to the comments. Kel said, "No days missed on Duolingo Spanish. Diamond League 20 tournament winner. New back piece tattoo. Q1B been great."
Come on.
That's
Yeah, so
fire.
shout out to
That's
Kels,
fire.
man. He been on that stuff,
Yeah, shout out
Uh,
to Duolingo, man. Shout out to knocking out your days on. Man, when I be messing up my streaks, boy, that'd
bro.
be hard. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
happened. That's what happened. I was so mad,
Mess
bro.
up
I
your
missed my
streaks,
streak,
man.
and it's been a week, and I haven't gotten back on that. I was so pissed. and they wanted me to pay, and I was like, that would be cheating if I'm paid to like continue my streak. It's not like so I didn't do it.
I almost got you. You thought about it though,
I said, nah, I
huh?
ain't doing that. So I'm just gonna start fresh, man. Q2, gonna start fresh and go from there. And one of the reasons too, though, for me, like, because I feel like I was just going on Duolingo, bro. I was just doing it just to complete it. I don't think I was actually learning,
Mm,
right?
I
I
feel
was
you.
just doing it for the completion purpose, and I hated it. I was like, okay, I'm not getting anything out of it. If I'm not taking time to actually learn this,
Hmm.
I'm just wasting my time. I'm gonna like reset and figure out my strategy going to this because I actually want to learn it. I don't just want to be here. Oh, I'm just checking goals without having anything like tangible to be able to show for those things.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. And that's a good point, man. I just want to touch on that because I know DG, you mentioned some of the things that you did complete for Q1 that you felt you knocked out of the park, and then obviously some things that you can improve upon. I am the exact same way when it comes to my Spanish. My Duolingo score is still my streak is still streaky, man. I'm at like 609 days or something like that. But I feel like I haven't been learning
correct.
like really like I just been going on and like making sure I get that lesson in. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
just
Right.
putting it
El
on the board
Lapis.
putting it on the board. That's it. But I'm still showing up, but I'm not learning anything. And I
Right.
I
Right.
got I got these books that you told me to
Hey,
get.
let's go.
You know,
Let's go,
for
bro.
I still ain't cracked them. So I got them, but I ain't cracked them. So
Let's
that's a huge goal of Q2 is to crack these books and get back on my Spanish game. So that's a huge piece of what I want to accomplish. Um, and just hold myself accountable too. Yeah, man. Yeah,
let's
man.
Smart, bro.
go.
Yeah,
Smart.
man. So that's a huge feat. Really, just not even just my Spanish. I really just want to get back into reading. I feel like I really got off with my reading this quarter. Um, it was my goal to read a book a month, this year, and I haven't read a single book this year. So, um, just getting back in line with my reading is a huge piece of how I reflect and how I learn and grow. So I definitely want to tap back in. Definitely want to get back into like journaling consistently. I feel like I haven't been journaling, man. And also the gym, man. I got rid of my membership at Blink. I just feel like Blink, it's a cool gym. It just wasn't really like serving me anymore. Like I feel like it didn't really do it for me anymore. And so I'm going to be signing up with Lifetime, and Lifetime's a huge commitment. If there's anyone who knows out here in New York,
I know, bro.
these damn gym memberships be like hard notes, fam. Like I'm telling you, people be paying like $300+ a month for
Yeah.
gym memberships, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. But I'm about to be one of those crazy people because I feel like it's also going to help me with like my account. If I'm paying this much money, I'm taking my ass to the gym.
Take
For
your
Like
ass
sure.
to the gym.
I'm
Facts.
taking my ass to the gym. So I'm like, now I'm not paying no $300. It's still going to be a lot more expensive than what I paid, previously.
Correct.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm paying this money, I got to use it. Like I felt with Blink, I was only paying like $10 a month, and I was like, I'll be all right. You know, but with wanting to, tap in and really take this trajectory in all aspects of our lives, right? Being the sexiest version of ourselves in all aspects, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. It's time to step the game up, man. So I'm looking forward to joining Lifetime and chasing that sexy.
Let's go, bro. Chase that sexy.
Those
Do y'all still
are all the
feel?
things I want to improve upon.
Do y'all still feel the fire from the beginning of the year? You know how everybody when you roll into it's kind of like that gym mentality, right? Like everybody wants to go to the gym 5 times a week, but when they go into the new year, do y'all feel the same fire like overall though about just all your goals, like what I'm saying, as you at the beginning of the year?
Nah, to be honest, nah, bro. I feel you have to recreate the fire because the fire is not always going to be there, right? You're not just going to have that, excitement every day to work on it. I
Yeah.
think for me, what I've learned, bro, what I'm trying to figure out is hard. You're not going to have balance in all areas, bro. Because when I notice that when I'm killing in the gym, when my finances are being good, I'm slacking in other areas. Like I'm not making time, I'm not spending time with my family that often. So you can't really have that perfect balance. So
Mhm.
from what I'm trying to realize is like I have like non-negotiable things that I'm willing to do every day or 5 days a week.
Hmm.
And there are things that are like, okay, if I get to this like maybe twice a week, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a hierarchy of goals, right? What's really important to you? And then those are the things that you should like prioritize and give more time.
Hmm.
Because we only have 24 hours in a day, bro. Like you can't do everything like 100%,
Every
So you
day.
gotta
Yeah.
like figure out what's important to you. And for me, like lately, it's been like fitness and finances. Those are the two important things.
Hmm.
So no matter how busy every day I get, I make sure I do some like financial related work or
Yeah.
some physical, or the gym, right? Everything else, because one of my goals is to like, to be good at the piano, but I don't practice every day. Like two, if I can get a session in like half an hour, or like 2 times a week, I'm okay with that, right? So I
Hmm.
just feel like you're not always gonna have that excitement at the beginning of the year. You just always gotta like just reevaluate your goals, man. Just go over them and figure out what exactly that you wrote down, and do you really want to accomplish those goals? And if you want to accomplish those goals, you got to do the work because they're not gonna get done. You are in
Yeah.
charge, So I feel like those are one of the things that for me that I don't know. That's kind of my overall perspective on
Yeah.
that.
I could agree. I feel like the fire definitely fizzles out at some point, during the year, and it usually fizzles out pretty quickly. However, I can say that more than the new year, Africa revitalizes me in a new way
Right,
that,
Yeah.
for sure.
than anything else ever. Like regardless, I'm talking beyond the New Year's resolutions, all that stuff. I feel like every time I come back from Africa,
Oh, yeah,
I feel like a whole new person, right? And I think it forces you to want to get to it a lot more because it puts a lot of things into perspective. And it's just like, man, like what am I really doing
right,
with my life?
Hmm.
And uh I think coming back from, Rwanda and Zanzibar 2 weeks ago, that's that's put a new fire under me more than anything else, more than any New Year resolution, more than, any short-term goal or whatever the case may be. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Same exact thing, man. It's naturally it kind of fades off after time, like you said. But that Africa trip, man, it just it like I said, it ignites that royalness in you, man. Where just you reminded like that you are, you know, royal. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you just want to move like that, man. So more than anything, it's kind of been making me really just analyze my distractions too.
oh
Like,
yeah,
we all have distractions and things that we distract ourselves with. And like, which ones of those am I willing to give up right now? Is kind of
Hmm.
like the focus piece. Is like there's things that I really am focused on getting done right now. What things am I willing to, you know what I mean, give up? It's not like you want to be a robot and only, work
right,
30, just 24/7. But there's things that you can give up, and that you got to see if you're willing to really do that, man. And
Hmm.
there's things that I had to sit down with myself and be like, is this serving me right now?
mm,
Like, you know what I mean? Just honestly, like direct in the mirror, look at certain things. Is this serving me right now? And then be honest with. Sometimes when you ask that question, you have to have conversations with other people that kind of like, you know, that you have to let them know, like, I can't be, this is not what I'm focused on right now. And
right,
no, it ain't no, you know what I mean? No malice. So no, feel no different way about you, but this is not, I can't really do this right now. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I think that's super important, man.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
that's kind of where I've been, man.
Yeah. I think people don't talk about that enough. I think it's more like just common conversation just every day. I mean, let's be honest, most common conversation is just surface level things anyways. But
Right,
when it comes down to it, man, that level of sacrifice to like that level of dedication to truly lock in and achieve your potential, unlock your potential, to step into like the most profound version of yourself, it's it, it's it's something that it's just most people will never experience because most people just aren't willing to
it's
sacrifice that, right?
hard.
And it is hard. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm perfect and I'll be like,
right,
I'm shit, I'll be I'll be getting distracted just like
right,
everybody else does. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. But I think the more that you're willing to uh stay disciplined
right,
to whatever it is that you want to
right,
accomplish, the more that the more likely you are to accomplish whatever it is that you want to, right?
Right.
Like I said, becoming the most profound version of yourself, that's only going to happen if you're willing to put in the effort that
Right.
the other 99% of people in life aren't willing to do, right? You have to be a part of that 1%.
For sure.
Maybe even smaller than that. The percentage might even be smaller than that. But if you're willing to like do that and willing to explore that, you know, there's got to be some sacrifice that comes with it.
A lot.
And that's where I agree with DG. DG said earlier where balance is not is unattainable. I absolutely agree. I think balance is something that comes in seasons. You might experience moments of
Right.
balance, but if we're talking about like, long periods of time, nah. Like
Right.
balance is something that you can have in the short term, but there's always going to be something, someone, some business, some opportunity, that requires more of your attention than everything else does at that given moment.
Right.
And I think we're always in constant pursuit of balance, but at the same time, it's just understanding that it's it's impossible to achieve it, especially forever, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I think just becoming more and more comfortable with that, and just to your point, Ramon, of saying what you're willing to sacrifice, right? I think as long as you hold yourself to those standards of, well, I'm not willing to jeopardize this, but I can absolutely rule this out. And more times than not, it's probably your social life.
Right.
I mean, if we're being completely honest,
Yep.
that's a huge piece of it. It's a huge piece of your social life.
Right. And also, I would say sometimes too, man, it's just like hobbies, right? So like sometimes like things that I really enjoy, I want to do, like those things that are like 2 hours of my day. And like, damn, like I want to do this, but like shit, I gotta like do financial report. Those like I said, I have other things that to me personally at this stage in my life, I value more. I value financial independence more than like learning how to play the piano right now. Because I feel
Mhm.
like once I reach to
Yep.
that level, I can pay a tutor that can come over and teach me, right? So my time is spent like figuring out portion of my life first. That's kind of like
Mhm.
the balance I'm talking about, right? Because like there's only 24 hours in a day. We still have our jobs. So imagine 8 hours of work. Now you only have like 5 hours left, right? You got dinner, all these things. So you got to prioritize what's really important to you, you
Yeah.
know? And for me, like lately, like I say, man, like fitness and my finances, those are the two important things. Like giving my time because you can't be everywhere at the same time. Like
Mhm.
we're here on live right now. There are other things we're not doing, right? Like
Right.
everything is like opportunity cost. Because in order for you to get something, you got to be willing to give away certain things. And for me right now, like I'm willing to give away my leisure a little bit for those other things. I remember like when I was in my 20s, my main goal was all fitness, right? I didn't really care about financial literacy that much. All I care about was like fitness, gym, gym, gym. As I'm in my 30s, I feel like my mindset has shifted a little bit now. Now it's more about okay, I want to like build future. Like what can I leave behind for myself, my family. Like we always talked about generational wealth. So for me now, I'm prioritizing like finances a little bit more over like all the other things in my life right now. So it's kind of like hard to like find balance. And one thing like Mark's mentioned that we still fire up over here, and I believe that with the fire part, you can always recreate that fire, right? Because if you keep stuff burning, you still have to put in fuel and all that to keep it going. And for me, it's like resetting like what we're doing right now to reflect on your goals and think about ways that you can be better. To me, that's like the fire again that you can like motivate yourself to be better. Because I know that if you're not doing these things, if you're not doing introspection to go back and review the month and be like, what are you doing? How are you going to get better when there's nothing to measure and when nothing to look at? So
Mhm.
I think it's always important, like no matter how busy you are, killing it, like take a step back and just reevaluate your goals and figure out things that you can do better. Or sometimes be like, you know what? Like I realize I'm like, all right, one of my goals is to learn to play the piano, but it's not as important to me right now. So for
Mhm.
that reason, I'm not gonna prioritize that. It's gonna be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
If I can get all these things done, if I have time, then I'll do it. At least I'm aware of that, right? Because it's
Yeah.
not my main focus. But if you say that's your main focus, then you should be doing whatever it takes to get that stuff done. I feel like that's what the discrepancy is. But you hear people like, oh, I want to do this year, but they're not doing that. Then you're being like you're not being honest with yourself because you don't really want to do those
Yeah.
things.
You spreading and I think that's what happens is you spread yourself so thin over. Even if you
Correct.
try, like if you try to do so many things, you're not going to do any of them well.
For
Like you know what I'm
sure.
saying? And it's like I think that's the thing too is you could say like, yo, I'm gonna do 50 things, but I'm gonna spend 15 minutes a day on them, bro. Like you're not gonna be good at any of them. Like
Hey,
and
you could be getting a lot of
then you
shit
gonna
done,
fall
bro.
off. You gonna a lot for the first probably couple weeks, but ain't no way you doing 50 things for 3 months straight. Like ain't
Right.
no way. Like if you
Right.
started that
Mastering
like
those things.
first
Correct.
day, you would not. By now, you would probably be doing like 10 of them for 2 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? It's burnout too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And things come up too. So I think I just like that point that you hit, bro. You have to kind of really analyze like what are my top priorities right now
Right.
because they could
Hmm.
they could always
Correct.
reshift and
Right.
regroup too. It's
Hmm.
like we talked about like with literally quarters of a game, right? In different quarters of the game, different like things are the main focus.
Right.
Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it's like what is the main focus right now is I think what is important. You know what I mean? And being willing to be like, okay, I need to sometimes even actively put certain other things on hold.
Right.
It ain't like you can in it forever, but
Right.
sometimes you gotta put it on hold to like be like, okay, let's save that play for Q3.
Right.
hmm,
You know what I mean? Because if these first two quarters go right, what I'm working on here, then you know what I mean. Quarter
Right.
three gonna be special. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, I think that's super important. I like that. I like that
yeah,
point, brother.
yeah.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I mean that's
Real
kind of
quick,
like my. Go ahead.
I just want to say what Ray said. Shout out to Ray. He said, what ways did they move that you can incorporate on a daily routine? I think he was talking about in Africa.
Oh.
Anything specifically, Z? And what ways did they move that you can incorporate into a daily
Mm.
routine? I guess that out there that
Uh, what ways did they move out in like Rwanda?
that's
In
what I'm
Africa
guessing. That's
overall.
what I'm guessing. But what ways did they move
Um,
that you can incorporate into a daily routine?
I mean, I would say, but just for me, bro, back home people are happy as fuck. It don't matter
yeah,
what they got, they're
Yeah,
always happy,
yeah,
and I feel like
yeah,
that's something we can all incorporate in our
yeah,
personal lives.
yeah.
Because here, it's like obviously we live in a capitalistic economy, right? We want more, we want more, we always want more. Like we
Hmm.
got a big house, but we want something bigger. We got a nice car, we want something nicer. But back home, I feel like people have a little, but they are so freaking happy.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're like one of the
yeah,
most happier people. I feel like that's something for sure we can incorporate in our daily
That's a
absolutely.
life.
good one. That's a great
Piggybacking
one.
off of that, I think happiness is huge. I think the way they treat other people is also a reflection of that. Like, you talk about community, that's a very huge thing. Like, I've never seen more kid, and I'm talking about little ass kids, like a like 3-year-old, like walking on the side of the street by himself. And I'm like, where the hell is your parent? Like, where the hell is your parents at? Like,
Baby daycare.
but
They're just outside.
but it's
We
just like that
outside.
idea of community, right? Like no matter where anyone is at any given moment, you're safe. And
Right,
I've never experienced that type of feeling,
right.
especially here in New York.
Yep,
There, man, you always gotta be on your head gotta be on a swivel at all times, man.
for
So
sure.
to have to have like a 3-year-old walking around by themselves in New York would be nuts, right? So that idea of community and like I said, this ultimately like that stems from like how people treat each other. And
Right.
I've never experienced hospitality and just comfort and that level of embrace ever in my life, more than I've experienced it there. So
Yeah, nah, yeah, I hit it, man. And if I was to add one thing, I would just say like the giving portion, man. Like I think that's one thing that they made very apparent. Is like most people, whatever you think that money wise that you're at now, I in Africa you probably already be
Yeah,
rich in some parts.
yeah.
Like
Balling.
you know what I mean? Like you already like now, like whatever you got, you saved 15,000 up. You know what I'm saying? Like you damn near rich in some parts. You know what I mean? And in your mind, you like, man, I got a little piece, and it's like, man, you just don't see it from a broad scope of things. So just a perspective switch to that, and then the givingness of it, man. Like I said, I'd never seen a business. Shout out to Neo Art Center. You know what I mean? That they give 40% of their business profits to the kids in that
Oh,
neighborhood.
wow.
That's
mhm.
just that's unreal in the States.
For
Forty
sure.
percent, bro. Like 40. Like
That's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? That's a lot of your profit. If you make 100,000, 40,000 of that is going
Yeah.
to the people in it, and that's fire when I thought about that, man. So just it's not like we weren't givers, but it just to take a little bit more of the giving mentality into, a natural routine, whether that's just like, make sure that, I don't know, maybe give on a weekly basis or just whatever that looks like is just, I think a little bit more of it and being a little more intentional about it is
Right.
is important. I remember hearing Nipsey say, you could judge a man's success on how many people he blesses. You know what I mean? And it
Hmm.
just really resonated with me
Hmm.
too. Even when I heard it then, but I was talking to somebody today and I was like, I was telling him about that and he was just like, oh, that's probably the best way I ever heard it put. You know what I mean? Cause
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And also, I feel like the culture back home is just more like an interdependent culture, right? It's everyone looking after everyone, right? Like here in the States, it's like me, myself, and I. How can I get paid? How can I level up, right? Because back home, I feel like we look after one another, right? If you see a child in the community, like everyone look after that child, make sure he's doing the right thing. Like here, it's like I'll walk downstairs, but I don't even know my neighbors, right? Like here in Africa, if you live in an apartment complex, you know almost everyone in that entire apartment complex.
Yeah.
You guys are like family, right? But
Yeah.
so I feel like the culture is one thing too that, just like that loving, man. It just creates like empathy. You realize we're all the
Yeah.
same, no matter how much money we have. Like, we're not better than someone else. But I feel like here in the States, something when it comes with success, wealth, we think we are better than other people. We look down on other people because
Yep.
we have certain things. I feel like that's one of the, like, those are things that we do here that I feel like it's not back
Yeah.
home. Just growing up.
Agree.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was the exact word that I think we lack here in America a lot is empathy. And I think the reason why we do is because we're selfish, like we're taught to be selfish, right? It's always about me or mine. Like if it's outside of that scope of me or
Right.
mine, I don't care about it. And it's just unfortunate that so many people think that way. But when it comes to empathy, I think we're just so driven to we're so bought into the like capitalistic world that it's hard to show empathy when it's
Right.
just like, man, I gotta get after it each and every day, man. I gotta survive, right? And it's like, man, I ain't got time to be caring about this person or that person or your feelings or these or no, I don't have time for that, man. Like I'm out here grinding and there's pros and cons to everything, man.
For
But
sure.
I think that's the biggest reason why we lack empathy so much here is because, we're just so bought into the American dream
Right.
and honestly just consumerism, right? To the point of what Ramon said earlier, you could easily take 50K, go to any a lot of places outside of the US and be very good, be very
Very,
okay.
very,
Be very
very.
okay. Be very okay. Um, but there that comes with sacrifice too, right? You're further away, you may not have access to the same resources,
Right.
the same luxuries, right?
For
Uh,
sure.
so everything has its pros and its cons, man. But definitely empathy is the biggest thing that we lack here, man. And it's honestly just unfortunate.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, so just going back to the topic, right? So going to like second quarter, what are some things, areas of improvement you guys believe that you can like work on to be better to get better results? Just going to second quarter.
For me, I think, me and Z talk about this often is, we had started this after we went to Africa the first time, but we would do like weekly kind of just work sessions or check-ins and
Right.
just it would be like, you know what I mean? And it would be like we either be working on something or just re-strategize. And I think those weekly resets was really good to just, you know what I mean, to kind of like paint the picture of the day. Like we kind of do it with the pod now, but like a
Right.
little more like structured of like pulling the shit up.
Hmm.
This is what
Right.
I'm trying to do. This is what I need to get done this week to get that done by Q4. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think just that for specifically, and then I'm gonna be doing a lot more traveling, and I know in my future, and just things that I'm looking at soon is being out of the states for like a longer period of time.
Right.
I gotta figure out how I make sure that fitness is into my my daily regimen when I travel, because
Right.
that's one thing I
Hmm.
really be slipping on is like when I be on trips, it kind of resets everything. It's like, I be having so much going on out there that I don't make time for it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's one thing I'm not, I can't do if I'm gonna be spending more time
Right.
out there.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's those two things I kind of wanna attack.
Yeah. I
Right.
think piggybacking off of that, yeah, absolutely. I mentioned it earlier, locking in to fitness. I think that's one of the biggest things. Secondly, our weekly focus meetings for sure.
Right.
That's just there's so many things that stem from that.
Right.
Like, like this podcast, remote escapes, like all these ideas and whatnot literally came from just those productive sessions, right?
For
Those
sure.
weekly focus meetings. And so I think really getting back to the habit of doing those weekly and sticking to it, right?
Yes.
Just like you set aside time for a podcast or like you set aside time to watch your favorite show, you set aside time to go to the gym, like
Right.
I think it's
I
important to
agree.
set aside time for those goals and whatnot and those check-ins as well, where it's just like every Thursday at 8 p.m., Eastern time, we're gonna sit down and like, lock in and do this.
Right.
Um, it also just helps you stay on track, right? It helps you
Facts.
stay disciplined because it's like I know what I'm doing every Monday
Right.
at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm doing Manifest Mondays.
Right.
Most times we're manifesting on a Tuesday right now, but that's besides the point. But
Right.
more times than
98%
not,
of the time.
more times
97.
than
Yeah.
not,
Yeah. For
we
sure.
are doing this at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays, and so when you set aside that time and really dedicate those blocks to whatever it is that you want to be intentional about, I think it helps. And to that point, I think really just getting back to using my daily planner like literally every day. There's this I feel like this quarter I've been using it more like once a week,
Right.
and whatnot, and just checking in periodically, but really getting to the point of like doing it every day, I think is important. So
That's great, bro.
What about you,
And
what
to
bro?
about you?
effort,
Diesel?
man, I would say be a little bit better with time management this quarter, bro. Because I really want to be disciplined, right? I mean, I am, but I know I can be better when it comes to just like prioritizing my time better. Like lately, I noticed that sometimes I'll write stuff down on my to-do list, but like I'll be overwhelmed and I'm not getting those things done. So there are two things
Hmm.
that I'm looking at. Maybe I'm overdoing it. Maybe I'm writing more down, like then maybe I'm just having a lot of shit on my to-do list. I'm not getting to every one of them. Or maybe I'm just being a little bit lazy, right? So those are the things I have to think about, going to the second quarter. Like I gotta make sure that whatever I write down is gotta be an oath. I gotta make sure and get it done. So I got a
Hmm.
little bit now. I gotta think a little bit more before I just write stuff down, and that's for sure. That's something I can be better into. I can do better in second quarter, and also sleep, man. I've been
Oh
trying to get
man.
better sleep. That's something for
Oh
sure.
man.
Because like every time I want to improve my fitness, but I notice that sometimes bro, I be slacking on sleep. So that's something I need to be better at sleep this coming quarter,
You and me
bro.
both.
Yeah,
You and
yeah.
me both, my brother.
And bro, and just like we talked about the fire, and just find ways to just keep that fire burning. Just keep that fire burning, like that same passion and excitement I had at the beginning of the year. I want to make sure I keep that excitement
Yeah,
going. What I need to find ways to like if I accomplish certain things, maybe reward myself a little bit, or do
yeah,
something exciting, right? To just motivate myself. And kind of what you guys talked about earlier, making sure we have those accountability groups again
absolutely.
that way we can like keep each other in check to make sure we are doing those things, bro.
Yeah,
Because I feel like by doing all those things, that's the only way we're gonna get to where we want to be at the end of this year.
yeah. I was gonna say like that's a huge piece of how you maintain that fire is surrounding yourself with people who have that similar fire because
Right,
you can only maintain that for so long. Eventually, at some point, you're gonna fizzle out. And so
right,
that's why having those weekly check-ins or however frequently you check in, it's
right,
like, all right, cool. Like for instance, this podcast, Manifest Mondays, there be days where I dread, I'm like, fuck, man, I do not want to do the
right.
podcast
For
today. But
sure.
every time I do it, it's like I always am glad that I'm
Refresh, right,
every time we leave the pod, I'm like, I'm glad we did that,
right,
regardless of how tired I am, regardless of how cooked I am just from the day, just mentally elsewhere. regardless of what that is. And so that's why I think it's important to stay locked in with the people who are like-minded, because you're gonna help each other maintain that fire where it's just like, nah, bro, we gotta lock in. And it's just
Right.
like, what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah, man. But yeah, success is hard, bro. To be on top of everything is hard. To wake up every morning and go to the gym, it's hard. Sometimes I want to sleep in, bro. Like dead serious. Like sometimes, like I don't want to go. And I feel like those who achieve those things are the people who are willing to do it, right? They're consistent. And this quick story, bro. When I started going to my apartment gym, I was telling my girl there were people we saw the first week of January, and I was telling her I was like the reason we are accomplishing our goals and they're not is because not because we're better than them. It's because we're all consistent. Like every day we showed up, we show
Yeah.
up every single day, regardless if we wanted to go, or regardless of how we feel, we showed
Hmm.
up. But however,
Hmm.
they on the other hand, they show up whenever they feel like it, right? And that's the
Yeah.
same thing about success, though. While some other people are successful, it's not because they are smarter than you. It's because that person just like decide to work on that specific task
Yeah.
every day, no
Yeah.
matter how long. They're just consistent, bro. And over time, you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one reason why just being consistent with whatever it is that you decide to pursue.
Yeah.
And I noticed that in my life, bro. Some things that I'm not good at, those are the things I wasn't consistent at. I would just do it for a while, and then after a while, dang,
Yeah.
I'll stop, and I
Facts.
Yeah,
never
how was
followed
supposed to
through.
get
Like,
good at it?
how am I supposed to get better if I never stick to this thing like for a while, right? And you see that a lot of people, when it comes to their goals, we would do it for a while. And man, shit is hard.
Hmm.
Like, how do you know it's gonna be hard? But if you would like kept with that specific task and keep doing that shit for a while, it's gonna get better. I feel like most often we quit, bro. And I understand because shit's just hard. Especially you have a job, you have family, you have kids, you have all these things. Yeah, they are valid reasons, but at the end of the day, if you say you really want to accomplish that thing, you should still figure out ways to get there. You know?
Thanks.
Shout out, shout
Quick,
out to
real quick. I
Kels.
want to do a couple of shout outs real quick, man. I seen Ty pop in.
Yep.
Ty dropped one of the firest song promos I ever seen in my life, man. So I need this. I need the
Shout out
song,
to
but the
Ty.
promo, the promo, damn near need to be a movie, man. Shout out to Hanifa Cavell in the building, and then shout out to Mark Kills. He said my motto has always been consistency is sexy.
It is
Yep.
though.
It is,
Yep.
man. It is, man. Over
And
time, man.
that's a game changer,
Over
bro. For
time.
real. Yeah, because it's funny. It's funny, bro. Like I knew people who I feel like physically just like was smarter than me, right? When it comes to school, I feel like just for me, I think one of my biggest strengths, bro, is being consistent. You might be smarter than me at this specific task, but for me, I feel like I'm just gonna show up every day.
Yeah.
And I know that most people are not going to show up every day. And for the end of the year, I'm going to get a little bit better than that person who, even though might have all the natural talent, you're not showing up every day. I feel like for me, you like just being consistent every day, bro. And I
Yep.
feel like that's how you win, man. And that's kind of like my secret to whatever I'm accomplishing, bro. Just being consistent every
Yep.
day,
That's it.
You
and
go
That's
it's
it.
damn near
hard.
always win. You gonna damn near always win though, man. It's a quote that I think of like that Earn Your Leisure always says is like it's not about being at the right place at the right time. It's about being at the right place
Right
all the
place all
time.
the time.
Right,
Yep.
And that's so important, right? Like if you just go to the gym every day, no
right,
way that you just go and then you don't do nothing there.
right,
Like that's crazy. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like when you get there, you're just gonna be inspired. You're gonna have to do something there,
right,
right? You know what I mean? Nobody just
Yeah.
right,
walks into the gym and just walks around. Maybe somebody does,
right.
but most people you're gonna pick up some type of weight. You're
For
gonna pick up
real.
some type of weight. You know what I mean? Well, you're gonna get on somebody's treadmill,
Right.
right? So I think that being in those places and just putting yourself there, it's half the battle, man.
Yeah.
But that's the hardest piece sometimes is just to do it consistently, man. But
Yeah.
it really is like you said. I see it in you too, Diamond. It's kind of
No,
like
thanks,
it's
bro.
almost like anything that you tell me that you want to do, I know you can because of consistency.
Right.
Like I know
Yeah.
you can. Like when you say hedge fund manager, it's only a matter of time, bro. You work on it, you put it on your board.
Hmm.
You getting certificates done. It's really only a matter of time. Really,
Right.
might
Yeah.
not be on your time.
Right.
Might be on God's
For
time. You
sure.
know what I'm saying? But it's going to happen
Right.
because you put that work in like that consistently. So anybody who
Yeah.
moves like that, I don't. There's nothing. I'm born from the dreamer mentality too. So I
Right.
I
Right.
don't think nothing is impossible. But there's certain
Agreed.
people that you just see like that's gonna happen over there because they're putting in that consistent work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
Appreciate it,
somebody
bro.
somebody tells them they want to do something and they never do it, I
Right.
don't believe it can be done.
Right.
But if you do it, if you suck at it, but you do it every day, I'm
Right.
like, yo, this is gonna crack for you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna crack. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
And even like going with that, bro. Like I never really liked finance, bro. I never did. And when I like, because I feel like that shit is hard, right? Even like stock. I remember at one point, like 2016, I had a good friend. And he used to be investing in stocks, and he tried to like tell me about stocks. To me, I feel like it was such a hard concept to grasp,
hmm
and that shit's so easy, right? But like you
Yeah.
said, just apply ourselves every day with the willingness to learn,
Hmm.
and then with that mindset, oh, like this is not as hard. I can figure this shit out. I just gotta learn because I feel like sometimes we think we don't know, but we just lack information, because of whatever we want to get, right? It's just the key. I feel like once you have the right tools, you can open any lock. And I feel like just getting the knowledge is the tool that we need. Something, oh, I'm not good at math. How sure are you're not good at math if you never really put the time and effort to actually learn math? How sure you're not good at it, right? I feel like we try something and we fail, then we just like self-diagnose. Oh, I'm not good at this because we never like follow through. We start something and we
Yep.
never follow through. And
a better statement
oh,
it might be you don't want to be good at it,
correct,
right? Because if
exactly,
Yeah.
right,
because if you're not putting any time into it, you could just say I'm not good at it and that's the end of it. But I'm
right,
not good at playing the guitar because I never play.
right,
If I played for 4 years every day, I'd probably be
right.
nice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the
Yeah.
truth is, you don't want to be good at it. I'm with you on that.
True, and also I was having a conversation. We were just talking about genetics and all that, and the person was like, "Oh yeah, you got great genetics." I was like, "Yeah, I got great genetics because I put in the work to figure out what my genetics is capable of. Why, if I never did that, I would have never known. Because some of my brothers, they're not in a great shape. Like Mickey have great genetics, but he's not doing the work like me to know that. And I feel like sometimes you gotta like put in the work and go above and beyond to see what you're capable of.
Absolutely.
Some people just like, oh yeah, you might not look like this person, but if you put in out work for your genetics or whatever you're capable of, you're gonna accomplish a great results for you.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, yeah, maybe you never did that too. Like, no, because if I wasn't gonna do those things, I wasn't gonna know if I'm capable of doing these things. So sometimes
Yeah.
it's all about like just going that extra mile. Because
Yeah.
yeah, other people are superior than others in other areas, right? But you never know until you like dive in deeper to see what you're capable
Absolutely.
of, to realize
Absolutely.
that.
You gotta push yourself to your limits, to in order to grow, right? Like that's the only way that you're going to is if like, well, all right, I I I had to push myself to get here to
Right,
know, like, shit, I don't know if I could bench 400 pounds. Let me
right,
try it.
right,
I ain't tried to.
right,
Like, but I mean, I wouldn't know what it would look like if I tried or didn't try,
right.
right? I do think of genetics
I
is a piece of it. Don't get it
agree. I
twisted,
agree.
For
Facts.
because
sure,
I
it
no.
is
agree.
it is a
Oh
piece of
yeah.
Z
it.
Oh yeah. Oh
Z
yeah.
gonna
I
always
do.
be able to bench press more than me. You know
It's
what I'm
Oh no, I
saying?
agree. I agree. Facts. Yeah.
it's funny
Right.
because every time, like, like I don't live like I used to, but like I'm still just naturally strong. Like people are like, like it's crazy how strong you are, and like you don't
Right.
like even if
Right.
you don't lift, like
Right.
it's just
Correct.
it's genetics.
Right.
That's it's shout out to the polys out there, shout out to my Samoan people. That shout out to the ancestors, man.
Hey,
We
they
really
bless
be out
us.
here. We be slanging weight, man. So
Right.
so bless.
Right.
Absolutely. Shout out to the
Right.
ancestors, man.
Right.
But genetics is a piece of it, but
Correct.
you absolutely, to your point,
Correct.
have to put the work in
Correct.
order to push yourself to those limits,
Correct.
to know what you're capable of. And then whenever you do fail, because if you push yourself to the limits, you're going to fail. It's
Right.
natural, right?
Right.
That's the point of pushing yourself. It's just like, man, I didn't quite get it there, right?
Right.
I I couldn't hit that 6:30 mile. I did 6:47. But
Right.
at least it's just like, okay, now I know that mentally, all right, next time all I have to do is be better than 6:47.
Right.
And there from there on out, just continue to push it and whatnot. Or, I saved $12,000, like, and I was able to do it in two
Right.
months. All right, cool. Like, what can I do in 4 months? What can I do in six?
Right.
So on and so forth. And it's until you actually test yourself
Right.
that
Correct.
you figure those things out, right?
Facts. And that's the same when I was training you, Z. Remember when we were doing leg? I was like, why is Z so freaking strong? When like I'm training him, I can't even do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. You gotta like try before you actually know. You
Yeah,
can just sit there and assume. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, both things can be true, but you
yeah,
gotta like put in the work to actually realize that. Because if I wasn't gonna put in the work, I would have never known, right? By putting in the
Yeah.
work, I realized, I was like, oh shit, it's a lot easier for me than the other person,
Yeah.
you know? But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that person can't achieve the same results, right? They can just
Absolutely.
have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Like, in order for me to live like Z, or like, he had all the freaking plates in the gym, all the 45 are like right next to Z. I have to remove two of them and do my leg press.
You got people with their hands on their hips over there looking like,
Everything,
damn,
bro.
bro, if y'all hurry up, man.
Bro, for real, they were like still staring, but he was like, you just out there killing it, and he was even like sweating. It was just like he just made it look so easy.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? But you have to like my thing is like you don't know what you're capable of until you actually apply yourself to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Exactly.
kind of what I was trying to say.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, bro. That's man. That's so. It's so true, bro. Like, cause like when I think about that, I think about like just the greatest of all time, or just just being super great in general, right? Like, of course, like a lot of people in the NBA was like gonna just be born tall, but that don't
Right,
mean anything.
right.
That don't
Hmm.
mean anything,
Fact.
man. And I just wanted to throw something on there, man. Just not to be the bearer of bad news, but man, we not getting younger. We
Yeah.
not getting younger. If you was trying to figure out what
Yeah.
your max shape was, it's probably you probably want to work on that now, just because realistically,
Right,
you might feel like, all right, I finally getting a chance to do it when I'm 65, and there's just no way
right,
your peak at 65
right,
physically is not
right,
going to be the same as like when you're younger. You know what I mean? There
right,
might be
Hmm.
things mentally that you still can be getting better at, like a lot, as you get older for sure, and things that you can be, but like that physical one,
right.
that definitely does have a time limit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I'm
And
always
that's
on the side, like you're never too really old to do anything, but at the same time, there's gonna be certain peaks that you just won't be able to hit
right.
after you get past certain ages.
I
So
mean, it's
man,
fact
just
though,
do it
because
now. Do
yeah,
it
because
now. If you
we're
don't make
actually
time for it now, you never will.
yeah, we're actually seeing noticing the decline, bro. Because now it's harder for recovery than when I was like 18, 19, 20 years old. You
Yeah.
know, it took a lot longer to build muscle now when you're like mid 30s compared to like 18, 19 years old. So I feel like you said, Ramon, it's of paramount importance for us right now, this age, to prioritize health and fitness. Because to me, I feel like just only like a little downhill, right? Because like you're not getting younger, man. It's only going up. But your knees is gonna like get worse, right? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, wear and tear.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know, like you bought a car in 2022, 2028. That car is now gonna be as when you had it in 2022, same with your body. But however, there are a lot of preventive measure and things that we can do, right, to
Yeah.
mitigate that process, like eating
Hmm.
healthy, like getting enough sleep, doing all those things, like trying to find ways to like reduce stress, right? Because like stress ages a lot of us too, bro. Like if you're stressing a lot,
Facts.
so all those things, man, just kind of like prioritizing wellness overall. And that's kind of one of my goals. I'm getting older, bro. Like I want to like make sure I'm like all those pillars of fitness are being taken care of. Like not just like the gym, but make sure like flexibility, right? All those other areas too. Like just find ways to like reduce stress, bro. All those things help us like age
Yeah.
gracefully, and that's kind of like my goal right now, man. Just find ways to just keep the body looks a little bit younger, right, than what it actually is.
Yeah. Facts.
That's a fact, man.
Yeah, I
I think
know
we had a good spot right here, man. Um, I don't have anything as far as a would you rather question for the day. Y'all got something?
I got one.
Yeah, what is it, Z? What you got for us?
All right. So y'all know the Spot Network. We're gonna put you on the spot every episode. We're gonna ask y'all our question, and it's probably gonna be a would you rather question. So today's would you rather is nothing like super crazy or anything like that, but would you rather give up your favorite habit if it meant achieving your biggest goal, or keep the habit and risk never reaching your full potential? Now think about that. Your biggest habit, like I'm gonna repeat the question. Would you rather give up your favorite habit if it meant achieving your biggest goal, or keep the habit and risk never reaching your full potential? So, for example, with DG, your biggest habit is the gym,
I mean, that's not a
fitness.
hobby though.
Nah, that's a habit. It's
It
a
is though.
habit.
It
It's
is
it's
though.
it's it's a habit.
Nah, I
That's your
It
biggest
disagree.
is.
habit.
Nah.
That
It
is
is,
that is your biggest
bro.
habit. That
It
is your
is.
biggest habit, bro. Absolutely. The gym is your biggest habit.
What do you do
Absolutely.
more than the gym? What do you do more than the gym, bro? Like, think
Sleep.
about that.
All right. Let me ask. Can I go for a walk? Can I go biking? Can I go hiking? Can I do all? It's just not working out, not just lifting weights, right?
You got to
Yeah.
give up. You got to give up the habit, bro. You got to give up the habit. Nah, listen, you still kind of creeping
No,
out.
but
You
I'm
can
just saying.
you can do it, but not consistently. Not consistently. You can't be
No,
in there like
I
six
agree.
times
I
a week
can.
on the
No,
treadmill. You know what
no,
I'm saying? Like
I can be in the gym, but I can like go out. Let's say if I want to go hiking, go for walks, all those things. I can do that, right?
it can't be
Because at the end of the day, I
as
don't.
a habit. You just got to be sporadic.
No,
it
I don't like. I don't
can't be
like
a
this.
habit. You can't.
Yeah, I don't like this question. Next.
It's got to be hard, man. It's got to be hard because for me, it probably be music, honestly. Like because my biggest goal in life is to be a philanthropist. So if I had to give up music in order to become a philanthropist, is that something that I'm really willing to risk? And I really don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, that's
It's
a hard one, bro. Because I'm
hard.
not
It's hard when your biggest habit is a positive one too.
right. That's what
Like
I'm saying, though.
what I'm saying,
Like,
if your biggest habit was a bad one, it might be easier to answer. Like I could give up that for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or
But
I feel like it's
it's
just a
hard.
little hard, right? Because like overall, with everything that we want to accomplish, like health is so important. So for me to like just neglect that, because I feel like I'm not gonna be in a great mental state to accomplish those things. Because like if I'm not, because you said no, you can even go hiking daily or go for a walk. Or, I don't care about the gym. Yeah, I'll say I can skip the gym. I know it's gonna be hard, but if I can find other ways to still do that, it's cool. I don't need to go to the gym. Like say no gym, right? But you can still like do push-ups and like go for walks. I'll probably say
let's
yes. I will skip
say
that.
let's say like let's say once a month you can do
No, bro.
it.
12 times a
Listen,
You
year?
can
because
go
That's
hard
it
as
terrible.
hell. You can go
It
That's
hard
can't
as
be
hell
it,
on the
it, it
terrible.
weekend
can't be
too. You know what I'm saying?
consistent. It can't be consistent, but you can do it once a
Nah,
month.
that's not fair, bro. No.
Because it can't be a habit. At that point, it's not a habit, right? So it's just like you got to do it once a month.
Hobbies or habit, right? Because my hobbies, I don't do my hobbies every
Nah,
day, right?
your favorite
Hobby's not
habit.
a habit. Habit is one thing. Yeah.
Hobbies and habits are two
All right,
different
so my
things.
Yeah,
habits,
habits harder to break.
gotcha. Yeah, damn. Oh my God. Once a month, bro. And then, damn.
You could go hiking once a month. You could go for a walk, go for a run. You could
So,
get
so
you
I
could
just
maybe
gotta, I
even
just,
even hit the gym, but you can only do it once a month.
so I just gotta pick just anything fitness related once a month,
Hmm.
bro. That's terrible. So no.
It can't be a habit.
No, bro, that's a hard one, man.
Because I
Yeah,
was really thinking
Yeah.
about it, and for me it was either going to be music or travel. But I think music is probably like a little bit
yeah.
more.
Because
Um,
with travel is
It
cool. I
is.
love to travel, but I don't have to travel. I'll be
yeah,
fine.
Because we
I
got
can
so
go a
many.
year without traveling.
Yeah, I think.
I can go 2 years
Z,
without traveling.
Z, I think Marquez was kind of asking us like, is both of ours music too? And I think I think since gym is so extreme for you, it has to be music in every way for
Right.
us.
That's
Like
what I'm saying. It
yeah,
gotta be
DJ,
music.
producing, rapping, all that
yeah,
shit, and all in one. Like it
yeah.
has to be extreme like that, and that probably is the biggest habit of like, you know what I mean. No matter what I'm doing something music related, like at all times, and that
And I'll make it harder. You can only
that
listen to
would be
music
hard
once
for
a month. I'll make it harder for y'all.
not
Y'all can
even
only
listen,
listen
not listen.
to No,
Nah,
y'all can only
listen
listen
is
to music
Nah,
different, bro.
once a
well,
month.
relax,
You could watch people work
relax.
out, bro. You
Nah,
could watch people.
you can watch people work
No,
out.
no,
Nah, relax.
y'all can only listen to music once a month. Yeah, that's
Chill.
extreme.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
nuts.
You are tripping, bro. You
That's
are tripping. Nah,
wow.
hell
So
nah.
pick your favorite
Hell,
album once a month. You can
nah.
only listen to music.
What
No
you
thanks.
what you
We can only work on music once a month,
No,
whether it be
you know
listen.
how
producing.
impossible that is in this world, bro. There's music
Exactly.
everywhere.
No, but
You
y'all
just run
shouldn't.
away when it comes on,
No, no,
like
no.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking about you playing it though. You can like if you go outside,
Nah,
cool. But you can only
bro.
like play
That's
music like
not
once a
no,
month.
no, bro.
That's a
I mean
nah, bro. You
that's
can't.
the equivalent to me not doing anything, bro. That's the equivalent, bro. It's not.
Nah. Nah, you could go watch YouTube videos on people working
Bro,
out,
I'm not
and
gonna. I'm not.
you could listen to like
No,
fitness, you could listen to fitness podcasts
I
and
don't
shit
do
like
that
that.
though. I don't. I don't do. That's what I'm saying. I don't listen to. I don't watch
You
people
just
figured it out.
you just can't participate. You just can't
Nah,
participate.
it's not the
Nah,
same.
the difference is because when you go to the gym, you do something, and that's the
Right,
habit. So for
Yeah,
us,
right,
for music, well, music is the habit of us doing
correct,
something.
yeah.
right.
Like the listening is just like
I
that's.
used
I feel like
that's all that's part of the pop. That's
everybody
part of the
listens to
package.
music though. Like
I mean, everybody go
Everybody
for
listens to
walks.
music.
that's like yeah, that's like saying you can't
That's
walk at all, bro. Like
why
that's
Z said
like
I can only go for a walk once a month.
you can
No.
walk to
I
where you're
said,
going though. Like you
Oh,
can't walk like a 2 mile hike walk,
but
but
you gave
you
me
can walk to where you're going.
but you just give me a limit. You say I can't. Why if I want to walk okay, like 30 minutes? Then I can't do that, right? If I just want to go for a walk, I can't do those things. So it's hard, right? So I got to make it harder for y'all. Y'all can only listen to music once a
That's
month.
wild.
nah, nah,
That's
bro.
just,
No,
nah, Z.
no.
Once a month,
The
then it's
answer is
fair.
no. You can't. Nah, we can listen to music,
Once
bro.
a
Like
month.
absolutely,
Once
absolutely,
a
bro. We
month,
can
bro.
listen to
Okay, well
music as
then
much as we want to.
let's connect it.
Nah,
Let's connect it. So we kind of
right,
have the stipulations. Let's go
right,
extreme. That's what it is. We can only
right,
listen to music,
right.
once. That's as hard as it gets,
Yeah,
right? We can only pick the music we listen to once a month.
once a
That's
month.
it. Nothing else
Right.
music related. What is the biggest goal for y'all?
Be a
What's the biggest
philanthropist.
like? So be a philanthropist. What is it for you,
Man,
DG?
I got a lot of goals, man. Eventually, one of my goals, like Z said, to be able to like give back. But overall, bro, just be like a very successful businessman. That's kind of what overall like my biggest goal for sure. And then with that, be able to like give back to my communities and stuff. But yeah, that's my biggest goal.
Yeah, I think as I think about it, that probably is mine in the same sense too. Is being able to like set up systems for that next generation to be able to, you know what I mean, to live to live in. So like some type of setting up systems that the next generation will be able to
Yeah.
benefit from. So
So
that's
what's y'all's answer? Y'all giving it up?
No, so you agree to the stipulations, right? So you can only do music once a month. You can only listen to music
No,
once a
no,
month. If
no.
I
You said it the first time. We can only do music
No,
once a
no, you
month,
have to only
right?
listen to music.
No, 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 no. We can
Bro,
listen
if
to
you
music.
say I can only
You
go
could
for
go
a
for a
walk.
walk, DG. You could go for a walk. You can
Cool, like, every day if
walk.
I wanted to. Yeah, then I'll say, then I feel like then yeah, I can give that up if I can go for a walk and do yoga, all those things. I don't gotta go to the gym. Then that's fine.
You just can't
Yeah, I'll say,
do anything else like besides walking once a month. Like so,
but
like it
that
can't.
that's what I'm saying.
No,
If
it
I
can't
want
be.
to walk,
It can't be like yoga. It can't be none of that. You can only walk. It's
right,
like
that's my
you walk.
point.
You walk
Once
is
a
what I'm saying.
month though, once a
But
month, right?
once a month, you can do whatever you want besides
Correct.
walking.
Right.
Yes,
That's
yes,
why it
that's
got
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
harder for you guys. Can only have to listen to music once a month too.
Nah,
Be-
nah, because I
Yeah,
feel like actually doing music is like the thing that kind of like is the fire for us.
yeah,
Like right, like I think listen music is like passive.
but everything is
The active habit is like
right. So
doing it. You know what I
So
mean?
Z telling me that I can do push-ups at home. I can do nothing at home. I can do yoga. I can do anything. I just have to go for a walk once a month, every month. Like that's like
you-
12 times a year. If I do
yeah.
like, so yeah, that's hard.
That's normal. Like most people don't normally do push-ups just at home. Like is what I'm saying. Like that's like not a normal. Like that's a habit,
Correct.
right? Like so. Like it's got to be whatever the habit
But
is. Like
that's why it's
that's
hard.
why I'm saying like I listen to music all day every day, but like my habit isn't listening to music. My habit is creating.
Yeah, but I
Right?
have to do
So
some type of
I can't DJ.
right.
I can't
Sorry.
make beats. I can't write songs. Like I
Once a
can't do none
month,
of that shit
bro. Once a
except
month,
for
you
once
can
a
do
month.
all that. Yeah.
But and that's why I'm saying you can go for a walk, but you just can't do anything else that's health related. Like you can't go to the gym.
Right.
You can't go
Yeah.
swimming. You can't
That,
like do.
that's
You can only do that once a month.
but that's terrible. No. Because Kelsey and I went biking last weekend. That was my day off. Like I can't. No. Nah. Ah. Nah, man. Cause like
Shout out to
nah, bro.
Carol, man. She said
Shout
she
out to
quit
Carol.
smoking and yeah, she quit
Yeah.
smoking
Yeah,
and will stop smoking cigarettes this year. Hopefully, already
that's
saved
fine.
$1,000 a month.
That's fine.
But see that this is my point though on this question is like I feel like if we look at a bad habit or like a habit that we don't like,
Right.
then we're gonna all say we give that away. But if it's one that we like, it's a positive one.
Yeah.
It's harder to give away that good habit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I would say no, but I don't think I'm willing to. Nah. Nah. I mean, I can play basketball. I can play soccer. It only have to be once a month. Like nothing, bro. Like what about ping pong. Can I play ping pong? Like, anything? Like, can I
Yeah,
do?
Yeah, you
that's
could play.
not like exercise,
What
bro.
about tennis?
No, that's exercise, bro. That is exercise.
Nah, bro. Once a month, bro.
It's just whatever your favorite habit is. It's not about, I mean, if your favorite habit is smoking, then, I mean, I guess that's like it's just
Your
it's
favorite,
to you it's whatever your favorite habit is.
good or
And
bad. I guess it's your favorite one. Yeah, your favorite.
this is forever, right? You
That's
know,
what
like it's not
I'm
like
saying. Yeah, I can
yeah,
do it forever,
this is forever,
bro.
right? We got to make it hard. So it's got to be forever.
That's why I got to make you guys make y'all harder too, right? Because you trying to
No, we can listen to music, bro. That's
once a
crazy.
once a month.
We can't create it. Yeah,
All right, 2 times a month. I'm gonna give y'all some break. Twice a month. There you
this
go.
guy. Anyways, we're
Let's
listening to
make it
music, is what we're saying.
let's make it that extreme though.
Yeah,
Let's make it that extreme because
it
that
gotta
makes it
be.
No,
really hard though.
that is
That makes it hard,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, it makes it
I mean,
hard.
that makes it hard. That
Yeah.
makes it hard. It makes it hard, bro.
Even without listening to music, like even
No,
with listening to music, it's
I
hard.
feel like it's hard. It's hard with even listening to music, but without listening to music, kind of makes it
Yeah,
like.
harder.
But that's not. But listening to music isn't a habit, though.
I mean, yeah, some people enjoy
But you
that. I
said
don't
you
say
do
they
it every
haven't.
day. It's
Yeah,
one of
you
your
can do it.
favorite.
You can do it every day. I mean, that's
No,
a habit.
I don't necessarily do it every day. There's
But
actually
then
days
why?
where I go without
All
listening
right,
to
then you'll
music.
be fine. Then do once a month. It's not
Nah,
important.
nah, nah, nah.
Since you don't care about it
I
that
take
much.
that. Nah, I take that. I take that because that is
I ain't
extreme to
taking it.
like not work
I
out,
ain't
not
taking
to
it.
work out at all.
Bro,
To
not
not
to
work
work
out at all
out.
is
That's like
crazy, bro.
12.
Like, cause that's like you playing with your health
Right.
at that point. Like you
That's 12
not.
times a year,
But
bro.
you can walk.
But
You
you said you can't.
you can absolutely
Not.
walk. You just can't
Nah, we said
do
he
it.
could.
No, we see he can't walk. He
Can he
can.
walk?
Or
Can
I
he
mean, he can. He
walk
can walk.
like 10 miles?
Can I
Like
walk
that's
10
kind
miles
of like.
if I wanted
Yeah,
to?
bro.
Can I go jogging?
You can walk. You can't jog. You can just walk. Like you can walk. If you want to go walk for 2 hours, that's fine. Like it's just you can't do anything else besides walk.
Bro, that's terrible. That's still terrible as well. That's
You can't do anything except for
20
once a
mile
month.
yeah.
walks.
Once a month you can go to the gym, you can do all that, but you just can't do anything
So
else
winter
but walk.
time, I'm gonna be out there walking.
My
All you
bad.
can do is
So
walk. That's it.
when it's snow outside, blaze out,
That's
I'm gonna
all
be
you can do is
walking.
walk.
Nah.
My
So
Or
that's what.
bad, bro.
you can walk in place. You can walk inside.
So yeah, that's what it's harsh, right? So it gotta be like you can only listen to music once a week, bro. Once a month.
No, bro, that's crazy.
It
Mm.
has to be crazy, Z. Because if I'm only walking, bro, how many? I'm not gonna walk 20 miles a day for real. Let's be honest. It's not gonna happen.
I know, but I'm saying like you can still walk though. Is what I'm saying.
That's
But
hard.
I think it is. I think it is actually fair because it's really like it's kind of like we could listen to music other places. We just can't pick it. Like
Yeah, you can
we
just
could
play.
walk somewhere. We could walk somewhere and
Yeah,
just listen to what
go
they're
to the club.
playing
I'm
if
not
we
saying you can't
want
go to the
to.
club. You can go to the club if you wanted to, but you can't just play
If
music.
you
It ain't
wanted to,
hard.
but you just can't
You
pick
can
it.
just pick
Like you can't
music. You
be
can just play it
active.
once a month.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like you just. I think it's fair because like listening makes it like super. Like that almost pushes it
Yeah.
back, right? Like that
Yeah.
almost pushes the needle.
Right.
If
So yeah, you can go to the
if I
club if you
couldn't
want
do it,
to.
it's still hard enough. But if I couldn't listen to it, I honestly think
Yeah.
I'm not giving up the habit.
Yeah.
This is crazy. As that sounds, bro.
To be honest, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna give up the habit though. I don't think so. Like I have to go. But yeah, I've already just work on this. Ah, shit. But then, oh my God. I'll probably have to do some research if I can find ways to walk and still stay in a great shape. To like, I feel I'll have to do some research to figure it out. How often do I have to walk in order to
You
like,
probably could. You if you ate super
yeah.
light, like you know what I'm saying. Like you
But it
just
just
walked
takes
a
the
lot.
fun out of it though. Let's say if you guys
I was gonna
come
say
in
like
town
you
and
won't maintain your mass though. Like you
right,
won't maintain your
Yeah,
mass.
you won't
There's
be.
no way you could
Yeah,
maintain
right.
your
you won't be
mass.
big. You
But
won't
even
be
apart
big
from the
at all.
mask, right? It's just about like just laugh over it, right? Let's say if you guys in town, like, oh, bro, it's a nice day, let's go hiking. And if I'm free, I can do that. I have to wait for my specific time. Like, no,
Yeah, your month.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
be like, yo, just
like that's what I'm
come
saying,
back at the end of
right?
the month, bro. I'll get it
I can't be
in.
spontaneous at all, right?
No,
Because it's, oh yeah, let's go do this. I can't do it. So at the end of the day,
nah.
it's a lot, you know.
We're not going swimming or
Yeah,
none of that. Like you know.
like
So
let's say let's go weekend. I went biking with Kel. Oh, bro, I'm sorry, I'm free. I can do that because I already did biking like once a month. Like that. So at the end of the day, just like it's not fun, because you gotta wait once a month. Let's say April. Oh, I gotta wait till like April 28th.
yeah,
But
I feel like that's as extreme as not listening to
right,
music, bro.
I was
That's why I'm
say,
saying. That's
bro.
why I'm giving them that because that's extreme. But the homies is going swimming. We going on the boat today. We
Right,
just got
can't
to
do
sit in the
nothing.
boat and just watch everybody swim and shit. Like you
Nothing,
know
bro.
what I mean?
Go
Like
hiking, nothing, bro.
it's
You can't do
extreme. It's extreme, bro.
play
It's extreme.
sports,
Everybody,
nothing, bro.
you know what I mean?
Shoot basketball, you can't do
Yeah,
anything.
I think that's as extreme as not listening to music, bro. Like you can only
Yeah,
watch. We
yeah.
can still listen to music other places, but just not. We can't pick it.
You
So I
can just
think
pick it once a month,
that's
bro. Just
even.
pick your favorite
I feel
album,
like that's even.
man. So my final answer, what would that be? Damn, I'll have to. Oh my god, give up my favorite hobby.
But my
That would be
biggest goal
dumb.
would be achieved. I'd be a philanthropist, and you know,
Your biggest
Yeah,
goal.
I would say
damn,
I would just do it. I
God,
would do
damn.
it. Yeah, I would just find ways to like just walk and stay in shape and eat healthy, and then yeah, I would do it. Yeah, it'll be hard, bro. I think I'll make it work. Yeah, I would do it.
Damn.
But once a month, I'm just gonna go crazy. Yeah,
Damn, that's
I would
hard.
do it. I would
You
do
can
it.
still you can still drink protein shakes and do all that shit.
But
You just can't do nothing
it,
else but walk.
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. I would do it. I'll give away my habit to accomplish that.
That's
Yeah,
hard,
yeah.
bro.
Because I feel like in the day I can do it. To like once I accomplish my goals, I'll be able to do a lot for myself and my family. So for that reason, I
so
think
I'm
I'll.
essentially giving up music, like
Yeah,
even listening to
yeah.
it
I mean, you can still
to
listen though. You can
achieve
go
my
other
Choice.
places,
You can
but you can just play.
go walk
You can be
somewhere.
the one playing it, right?
Yeah, you better not touch that controller when you get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that would be my final answer. Yeah, I'll give it away for sure.
You say, yeah, you
Yeah,
would.
yeah. I'll give it away.
Damn, that's hard, bro.
Yeah.
That was
that.
like my first love and like like something I thought I would always do. Uh,
Yeah.
Man,
I'll give it away.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like giving up music,
Completely too.
except
Completely.
except except for once a month. Like it's just like
Hmm.
once a month you can go crazy. I can bang out an album in one day. That's that. I got 12 days out of the year
Right.
to bang out an album.
Yeah.
That I don't know, man. And
I
those
think
would
I
be
do it,
some
bro.
boring ass car rides, man.
I think I
Yeah.
do it. I think I do it, man. I think I
Yeah.
do it for like the main goal of like I said, setting.
Right.
I think I do it, and then like you said, bro, like on that on that day, I'm going nuts. I'm going nuts, bro. I think I do. Without that day, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I am, but yeah, I think I think I'm
Yeah.
giving it. That's hard as it is to say, bro. Yeah,
What
I think
about
I
you,
am.
Z? I'm waiting for you. Are you doing it or not?
It's tough. I, it's a sacrifice, right? Like either way, it's a sacrifice. But I think the biggest thing is like I feel like that just imposes on your freedom so much, though. It's just like, damn, like
Yeah,
I can't,
duh. You
and
made
that's
that
that's the
rule.
that's the I know, but look, I guess I would. I think I would. Yeah, it would suck though. I would be mad,
Hard,
but
bro.
I'd do
That'd
it.
be hard,
I would
man.
be mad. But I mean, what I could do with wanting to achieve my biggest goal of being a philanthropist, I'd be like I'd be the good version of Elon Musk.
Right.
'Cause Elon Musk a piece of shit, but
That'd be a good version of you want.
I'd be a good version of Elon Musk.
So what about you guys in the comments? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna give up? I'm just curious before we
I
wrap
think
this
Carol
up.
said she's giving it up.
Uh, okay.
Carol said give up the habit. That's what
That's
Carol
dope.
said.
Shout out to
And
you.
shout out again, Carol. And I know that's not an easy thing to do, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to
Yeah.
you for
Proud
yeah.
of
doing
you.
that. That's what's up, man.
Moving in
Shout
the
out to
right
you.
direction. Yeah. Anything else to
Well,
add?
nah, man.
I think
On today's
we
episode of
are
Would
giving
You
it up,
Rather.
man. Yeah, it make me feel sad. Like I just gave it up, bro. Like,
Like I
but
feel defeated and shit. I'm like,
yeah,
man.
she.
I ain't gonna lie though, you might want to put a camera next to me all day because I'm probably gonna be home doing some push-ups or doing something. I'm just saying. Probably gonna have a camera watching me every day because I'm probably gonna cheat and do something.
Daryl said, listening to music um, in Haram is not allowed in Islam. Is
Is wrong.
because it gives you too
Yeah.
much emotions. I love the emotions, but it's a fact that it stops me from working solid. Definitely agree with you. The fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
moving wherever. I can't do that. Wherever that is, I'm not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was
me
frowned
neither.
upon to listen to music. Mm.
It's crazy stuff. Oh,
Learn
Cheryl,
something
we're
new
gonna
every day.
shop soon too, man. Because I might, I might be making a, what I'm saying, a quick little pop out, man, in the V. I might make a pop out to the V this summer, man. So, you know, I'm gonna holler at you soon. But I
Alrighty.
think that's a good spot,
All
fellas.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we can wrap it on that note, man.
All
Just to wrap it up, man. I feel like it's the end of quarter one, man. So
right.
whatever we working on, everybody in here, time to lock in, man.
I'm
Yeah.
okay, man.
Re-
We're
Time
we're
to
in
lock
Q
in.
we're in Q2 next week, man.
yeah.
So
Recreate that fire again.
Yeah,
yeah,
Now get back
yeah,
on those goals. Start writing down those to-do lists again. Make sure that whatever you write down, you're getting them done. You know, because time is going to go by regardless if you do it or not, right? So you want to be on the
yeah,
right side. You want to make sure that your life, things that you say you want to do, you're actually accomplishing those things.
yep.
And one day at a time. So, and also I just want to say shout out to everybody who joined the live today.
Hmm.
Really
always.
appreciate you guys for taking the time to join us.
Yep.
Hmm.
It means a lot
Make sure
to us.
make sure to follow us too. If you don't follow us already, make sure you do it. You can
Right.
find us at the Spot Network Official. Again, that's at the Spot Network Official.
Z
Don't just follow
just
us here,
dropped a
follow us
crazy
on
mix
YouTube.
on there on YouTube. Z just dropped a crazy mix straight from Zanzibar on there, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hey,
So go
So
check that out too,
be
man.
sure to tap in with us on YouTube, man. That's where all the gems are. So
appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to y'all boys too,
but yeah,
bro. Always holding it down.
shout out to the
Appreciate y'all,
squad,
brothers,
man.
man.
Appreciate y'all,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Shout out to everybody who tapped in with us. We'll be back next Monday. We'll be on schedule.
For sure.
Uh, but tap in with us. We here every Monday, typically manifesting and making all this shit happen in real time. So until next week, we'll holla at y'all, man.
All right,
Yes,
fellas.
sir.
Peace out.
Bye, bye.